Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What's happening? It's Anthony from the Daily Truth. The truth in 5 minutes or less. It's a lot of shadow. It's a good shadow. It's good sun too. Like this video, share this video, do all the things with this video. People probably saw my post from last evening or some of the messages I said yesterday. Again, not doing daily truths, by the way, every day. I'm going to be doing them, when I've got time and when I feel like I need to say something while I'm on this rodeo trip across the country, trying to keep it centered, focus right there. Hope everybody's having a great start to the week. So today's a tough one. I didn't sleep much last night, and I've lived my life with one philosophy and having no regrets. So today's message, I hope, hits somebody at the right time, in the right place, because I can't change necessarily what I've done. I could pray for a different outcome and the ability to maybe make amends or change. Granted, I did try. I have to be very clear on the situation, but this is again regarding politics, and this is regarding just frustration in the tone and the temperature of the country. But and Jeanette, I see you in the comments. This is dating back a long time, a while. So people that started watching Be the Change and watching what I did early, you'd probably know KP. And I posted that last night. It's interesting. Well, yesterday I spent a long time on the phone texting friends and trying to figure out exactly what was going on. People figuring out for me, somewhat reconnecting with the group of guys that used to do shows together, Biscuits and Gravy. And everybody remembers we lost Frank Lockwood in the beginning to COVID, one of our guest hosts on that show. And we had a lot of fun in the beginning of COVID, just trying to find a way to kind of bring some light, and it even strengthened our relationship even more, which was even more frustrating when it all ended. But I have to say that I tried. It's funny because Kelly was like, you did what you could to make amends. You did. And it wasn't reciprocated. I sent a couple emails, I sent a text message, and that was it. I never got anything back. So I can't really be upset at myself for that. But what I can be upset about is the whole situation. And last year, when I finally was just completely over the anger of losing my friends over politics, and the what I lost them over is they always knew that I had a different political belief than most of them, but it was my attendance. And I know this is my personal page, and people would be like, you did what? If you're in the different things. I was at January 6th, and my attendance on that day caused me to be unfriended on social media, specifically by one person. Not out of the group, they just stopped talking to me, but they stayed my friend. But I got unfriended by KP, by Kenny. And that one hurt, because out of all the group, he was the one I was the closest to. And I've talked about it. I've ranted about it. I said, this mindset, this mentality is bullshit. Well, Ken's in the hospital, not looking good. Chances are very slim. Again, I'm a believer in miracles, so I believe that can happen. And I hope that he can strengthen his faith when he gets out of it. But he's got a rare form of leukemia, and I know I've been messaging people who've been asking me who knew him, that went untraced, didn't know, and it all went from not feeling good one night, went from some blood blisters to not feeling good one night to then where we're at right now, and where he's at. I can't even. It's weird. Like, do I say we? Like, I have not spoken to him in 3 years, 6 months, and as of today, 18 days. And fortunately, I got blessed to be allowed to speak with him last night, yesterday, via speakerphone through a friend of mine that was in there, that I could make amends. But last year during Texas State Fair, when he was in town, I went to see some people, and this is my regret. This is the only regret I have, and it's one of the only regrets I have my whole entire life. And hopefully there's going to be a point, and hopefully that it tells you something. And I was at State Fair, and I was like, I'm going to go finally, after all this time, go talk to Ken Paul and just be like, pretend like nothing happened, just start over. Bullshit with him the way that I like to bullshit. Like, he was as close. Like, when I went through pictures last night and realized in my phone we have over 500 pictures together. That's how close we were. And he was on lunch break, and I didn't wait. And that's bugging the crap out of me today. And last night, part of the reason I didn't sleep. So, as somebody that really believes in having no regrets and making a decision. I made a very active decision to say kind of F you to the group that just left me behind. And then, you know, yesterday I messaged them and just sent like a group message and just, it's stupid. It's over. And it's, it's all based on manipulation by the media to make something that wasn't was. And I, you know, I've harped on what January 6th was and how there was some bad things that happened. But I have a regret that I didn't talk to Ken at the fair that day. But overall, this is all caused by bullshit politics, by bullshit manipulation by the media, by bullshit lying, and by a whole bunch of people thinking something happened that didn't. And as much as I put responsibility on the individual, when you've been programmed to believe what you see in the media and what you see on TV, it causes you to lose relationships. So my comment to you, and Audrey, I love that you're watching this, because you and I have had a similar conversation about things like the vaccine and all this different stuff. And I challenge you today, as somebody that has lived 41 years with having almost no regrets, to having one today, is to go, is it really worth it? So the truth is, for me, I'm realizing it wasn't worth it. I did try to make inroads and it didn't work. And then the only way that's like a letter, a note, a text message is not the same as if you have the opportunity to go see somebody and have that conversation. That is the ability to drop what you see on TV, drop the division, drop the left, the right, the Biden, the Trump, the whatever. The way to drop it is to actually reach out and have that conversation. And again, as somebody that just doesn't have regrets, maybe today, if I could touch one person out there, and I got a great message from my buddy Scott Ruby last night, who just said something about, you know, the way I carry myself and who I am. So if one person is not speaking to a family member, and you know, it's not even family members, to be totally honest, because sometimes family is family. But if there's one person in your life you want to reach out to, and you fought over this stupid thing of politics, which is man-made and media-made, and a lot of it is, I mean, we used to be able to argue about stuff. We used to be able to agree to disagree. We used to be able to have difference in opinion. We used to be able to have a different concept on the way the world worked and still be good to each other. And it's funny, we can do that with strangers. We can disagree and we can fight and we can go back and forth, like Jay Kennedy, the guy that I never knew until social media, and then we became like friends, and we can argue tooth and nail. And I know that like we're still close to each other, but then to lose a good friend, like literally, I used to call Ken dad. Like, I used to be so close to him. He was truly somebody that's like 10 years on the road, like more than 10 years. Like he was, as close to like I literally, like to be honest, he was the person that I first told when I found out I was having Luca. Like he was that much a family. Like for somebody, he doesn't have a family. I don't have a very big family. He was that person. And somehow my attendance on January 6th, based on the fear of the media and whatever, has just caused the relationship to end. So I'm going to challenge you guys. I tried being the bigger person, but then when I had the opportunity to do it in person, I didn't do it. I failed at that. Don't make the same mistake. Do something to change the possibility of having regret. The fight we have is not against the opposite political side. The fight we have is against misinformation. The fight we have is against the division that is caused because, and don't make me sound like a conspiracy theorist, but the people that are in charge want us to fight each other over bullshit topics. And I'm not going to lie, I know people that went to Black Lives Matter rallies that got violent later at night. I went to January 6th. It's all the same shit. We just have a difference in opinion. We were in attendance on a day that, honestly, from my perspective, not seeing what was going on inside the building, all that stuff from where I was, it was a great patriotic day. And we all are entitled as Americans to have these moments. And the ability for them to tear us down and tear us apart is the biggest issue. Don't allow that to happen. Don't allow it to happen to your friends and family. If you don't care, don't care. That's great. Like, I can tell you that I never got to say goodbye to my father, and I don't regret it because I made an active decision couple months before I was going on a work, this whole thing. I'm like, this felt like a goodbye, just in case. I did it just in case. I'm like, just in case I don't see him again. Same with my grandpa. I remember I had a great dinner with him, and I was like, and it was months before he died. I'm like, but I know that just in case, I'm happy to have had this conversation. And I did not. I talked to my grandpa on the phone when he was passing away. I was driving there. I couldn't make it. My dad, the same. I was a couple hours late. I left working when I was in spring break. No regrets. I didn't, because I made the decision. In this case, time ran out. And time ran out on me. Well, I'm not going to say that because it's not over. And I do believe in miracles. I say that. It's just a very, very small chance. And I got to talk to him while he's a medically induced coma. So I got to talk to him via speakerphone. So maybe he heard me, but it's not the same. So you don't know when somebody is going to get into a car accident or somebody's going to have a medical emergency or whatever it is. And if it's somebody close enough to you and it means something, if you can go and say, I have no regrets if we never talk again, no regrets. But Kelly will tell you, my mom will tell you, anybody will tell you that not being friends with this group has eaten away at me, underlying for years. And I made the decision to make a group text to them, including Ken in the text last night. That will change. And if it's something in you guys that needs to change, make it change if it's worth it. I'm reading a couple messages. All right. That's what I got for you guys. I know this was really long. I'll see you again later this week. God bless. Don't surrender your pets. Don't be a garbage human. Remember, the truth will always set you free. God bless.